Yes, people, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is when you're watching this. Welcome to another in the special edition of Tottenham on Tour videos that are solely based on the shit show that is happening at our beloved club, Tottenham Hotspur. Today, I've got Amir with me, another member of Tottenham on Tour. Brother, how are you?
I'm keeping very well. Everything outside of life that doesn't concern Tottenham Hotspur or football, everything seems to be fine and dandy. It's only this club that is really, giving me a headache and has been giving me a headache for the last, over a decade really under Levy. And the lack of success hurts. The lack of any future planning hurts. The fact that we get through managers like pairs of socks hurts. And we've got a lot to talk about here today, Dave.
And you know what? Let's get into this. Tottenham on Tour. So the first thing we're going to discuss from here today, and it's something that hit me on our video today, the first edition, which has been really well received. As you know, I've been going through the comments, and someone said something. I can't remember who it is, but I'm sure you'll be watching this, and big up to you for saying this because you actually reminded me of something. So this one, Amir, is going to be called History Disrespected / Neglected, Soon to be Forgotten. And this guy who put the comment in was right. And he's like, do you know what? And I thought about it. Any other football club where their history is disrespected, neglected, the fans are in uproar. Can you imagine Liverpool, the owners started taking the piss and disrespecting Bill Shankly, or United, Busby, Ferguson, Arsenal? I mean, even when it's Herbert Chapman, they all talk about Wenger and the Invincibles. You disrespect these people and neglect them, those fans will be in absolute outcry and will go absolutely ballistic.
Yep.
Yet here we are. No Coys or Spurs written on the seats because we're a multi-complex entertainment arena, so we can't have that. As they said when the boxing was on, the only way you would know it's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is by that cockerel on the top. And we are just the Bill Nicholson gates that was meant to be used as an iconic part of this new stadium. Well, where are they? Johnny spoke about it yesterday about the Bill Nicholson quotes and the DNA and the identity that man built. Well, if you weren't privy to that, or you didn't have a parent growing up in that age, you wouldn't have a clue, would you?
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. And you know what, Daigle? It does actually hurt. I'm obviously one of the more younger supporters. I'm 88. So, even at the FA Cup, I was only a baby when that happened. So I don't remember that. My only two trophies that I can remember were League Cups. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to be 35 this year. And that's just simply not good enough in all those years. Do you know what I mean? It's just simply not good enough. And the fact that, when you look back at what we were winning and the double winning sides and winning the FA Cup the most, and you're looking at all that history there that is not being remembered properly and is not being memorialized, and we're not looking at the past and trying to build on the teams that were, the push and run and the incredible sides that we had back then. Birkinshaw, Bill Nicholson, it's a joke, really. It's not on. And then Levy comes out with, we're going to do a statue for Harry Kane and whatnot. I'm all for a statue for Harry Kane if he stays with us. You know what I mean? If he's there for the long haul, and as long as that is coincided with remembering the rest of our history, putting up statues of Bill Nick, as well alongside that, because that, we have to learn from the past to improve the future. So. For me, that's it hurts, and it's representative of Daniel Levy and the board and the way they've been running this club. And instead of it being a football club, it's turned into their cash cow, which they just seem to just milk endlessly. And yeah, it's just a sad state of affairs really at the moment, Daigle, and it hurts. It really does hurt. And the younger fans, they got nothing to cling on to because they don't remember the double winning sides. They don't remember the sides that are winning FA Cups for fun. They don't remember the European glory nights. They don't remember any of that. So,
well, you look at this, I mean, and like I said, this is solely not about play. But as you said, this isn't about players. This ain't about like what goes on the pitch. But as you rightfully said, I was lucky enough to have my grandfather on my mum's side. My dad's side, my grandfather passed away before I was even born, so never got to meet the great man. But I had my grandfather on my mum's side and my dad, who would tell me about incredible players, incredible styles of play, incredible trophies won, and doing this and can reel off player after player. What have we got? Like I said, you've got. I can't remember. Have you got nephews and niece, or is it just a nephew or a niece? I can't remember.
No, nieces, three beautiful.
You've got three nieces. Okay,
yeah,
so whether they take up the role of football or enjoy football, whatever, let's say they do, and you go to talk to them about your experiences, not your dad's, not your grandparents, not uncles, aunties, cousins. Your experiences, like we all cling on because my dad told me about Mackay and Gilzine, his two idols. My grandpa would tell me about players back in as early as the 30s. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I can tell you about Paul Gascoigne. I can tell you about players. Can't tell you about the illustrious history. I can't tell you about, but I can tell them about the aggregate from the old White Hart Lane that's in the floor and the centre circle, and how these trees keep the South Stand up. I mean, what is there for us right now, history-wise, to pass down to the next generation of Spurs fan?
There's not much there, Daigle. You know, there's not much there. You know, we're living off past glory, and you know, we got to a Champions League final, which we all enjoyed, right, under Poch. But then what happened? Levy went and sacked him, and then got rid of Jose before a final, and then got in Conte, got rid of him, Nuno. So, you know, you don't even get to really enjoy even that little slice of getting to a Champions League final. You know, you barely enjoy, because then it's just been such a mess since then. And yeah, like you said, the only things that I can really talk about is 99 and 2008, you know, the League Cups. That's really it. And you know, with no disrespect to the League Cups, obviously I'll take any trophy we can win. It's not exactly the same as you know, the double winning sides and the FA Cup winning sides and the Euro, and you know, in Europe, it's a sad state of affairs. And like you said, we've got a few players that we can name off, like, you know, seeing Bales and Modric's and, you know, Van der Vaart.
Do they win?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather take, you know, an FA Cup or a league, you know, over you know, seeing some world class players like that. It's just, it really is a sad state of affairs, and things have to change, basically.
And you look at this, and let's talk about our recent history that has been forgotten. 4 seasons ago, we were in a Champions League final. 6 years ago, we had the final game at White Hart Lane, like this week, 6 years ago. This stadium was meant to be the be-all and end-all that propelled us. Yes, COVID and all that bullshit. COVID happened to everyone. And I'm not disrespecting COVID. I'm saying that excuse don't wash with me. It happened to every club. It happened to everyone across the world. But we had 4 years ago Champions League final. 6 years ago, we left the lane. And then another comment, this just goes to show how scandalous it is. We've now gone on, and it's just a stupid, quirky, and I don't mean stupid, but a quirky, stupid, embarrassing stat. We've now been out without a manager this time, longer than Liz Truss ran this country. These are the kind of stats, like you saw the Domino's pizza when Poch got Here We Go saying pizzas have been delayed because of Tottenham Hotspur fans' tears. This is what we're passing down to the generations.
I don't know. I you know, Daigle, it hurts, and you know, honestly, I don't know what to say to you. But one thing that pops into my mind, and you know, we speak of all this manager merry-go-round and not having a manager. If you look at the successful sides in the Premiership in the past decade, 15 years, what managers are you looking at? You're looking at Klopp. You're looking at Pep. You know, these are the guys that you're looking at. And what do they have? Longevity in the role. They're there for over 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I mean? They're
You can even
there.
say Arteta. You can't even say Arteta. All right,
You
we
know,
know what happened with
well,
them.
getting
But
second place is no mean feat. Yeah, you're right, Daigle. You're right. Second place is no mean feat. And honestly, when you look at that and you just see what we've done, and you think to yourself, we've got rid of Jose, world winner. You know, he wins everywhere he goes, all over the world. Conte wins everywhere he goes. And what do we do? And what do? We literally bring them to the breaking point where Jose goes and leaves and goes wins a trophy straight away with Roma, and he might be winning another one.
yep.
And Conte, well, you know, he's probably going to end up winning somewhere else as well. And it just hurts. So what I want is for there to be an actual plan for Tottenham Hotspur, a 5 to 7 to 8 year plan, long-term vision. And we go from there, bringing in a director of football and a manager that can actually work with the squad and work on building something for the future. Because we cannot keep going through managers every 16 to 9 months or whatever it is that we're getting through them, because it's not a recipe for success, is it?
It's not. It's not. Do you know what? We're going to move on to the next subject now, and I'm really happy that I've got you on, and you know what's coming. Johnny and I spoke yesterday when this news broke about the One Hotspur membership, and obviously this is vital for Tottenham Hotspur fans internationally, including yourself and people like yourself that live in Israel and other parts around the world. I heavily documented and spoke about it yesterday with Toronto. The price increase. I mean, as an international fan, I mean, I'm sure you may have spoken to Tottenham fans within your friends over there. I mean, what has been the reaction and your thoughts as an international fan when you see that the global economic crisis and the cost of living crisis is why season ticket prices were frozen? Wasn't because the fans went mental, but all of a sudden, all you international fans that spend thousands to come over and the members here, they cost of living crisis doesn't mean anything to them. I mean, what's the view from an international fan right now?
Well, I mean, look, it's just another tax on the football fan at the end of the day, isn't it? For Mr. Levy, it's just, you know, it's squeezing that lemon or orange a little bit even more just to get a little bit more blood out of the stone, and it's just typical, you know. At this point, you just roll your eyes to it, Dave, you know, because you've seen all this kind of behavior before, and you know what happened during Corona as well, and you know the whole furlough thing, and all. It's just beggars belief, really. You know, it could have been frozen. No, gone for the pay increase, and like you said, you know, we have. I don't know if it's millions, but it's definitely hundreds of thousands of Spurs fans internationally. And I think they've got a huge role to play in hopefully, you know, pushing Levy and the board out of the club eventually. You know, and I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about that, Daigle, and what it is that international fans can actually do, because obviously it's hard for them to get to the stadium week in, week out. They might be there once or twice a year and be able to get there. But, you know, most of the things that they're going to be doing are going to be from afar. You know?
Yep. Yep. I mean, like I said, what I've seen as well is, like I said, the international fan has to have this One Hotspur membership if they want to get tickets.
Yep.
Not only do they have to have it, but they have to have an official football supporters club for the country they're in. So, like for you, for Tel Aviv Spurs or in that Spurs or blah blah blah. So you have to pay that money, and you have to pay the extra money. But it's the only way you can guarantee yourself a ticket, because you reach out to your chairman of the supporters club, or you say you want tickets. They reach out, and because there's an allocation, you get it. You may only get to, or these people from around the world may only be able to do it once a year. And they've spent thousands on travel, thousands on accommodation, food, everything. But the cost of living crisis does not matter. And then you look at it even further. The best bit is the extra perks that he's added for this money. An international fan can't benefit from any of it. It's pathetic. And before we get on to the protest, I've added an extra thing here because I forgot to mention this. We're going to go on to this. I don't know if people have been watching my Twitter today or were active on Twitter yesterday. But after this price hike, The trust came out and said, we were never informed of this. The club never came and spoke to us about this. We have reached out to the club to have an emergency or a meeting, an important meeting with them to discuss why they have done this. And obviously, it got a lot of reaction. I put a tweet out myself, and I said, once again, the club have gone behind your backs. How long is it going to take for you to realise they don't care and neglect their duties with you? When is it time for you to promote the protests and let people know that there are other ways to voice your frustration? Didn't hear anything about it. Then I realised, I said, someone, the trust started responding to a few people, but not me. I don't know why, but that's their prerogative. And one of them said, can't remember who it was, but one of them said, a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago, we asked Daniel to hand in his resignation, but he didn't listen. Fair play, fair play. So I was like, okay, because these polls come out saying in the trust XYZ percentage are happy with Levy and all these other ones, I thought, okay, let's see what happens here. So I said last night, the poll's still going. You can see it on my Twitter. I said, is it the time for the supporters trust, and I tagged them, to demand that Levy resigns from the board? Not ask, not inquire, but demand he leaves. And then I put again, the supporters trust. Believe me, if you do this, you will gain a hell of a lot of support. Now, I'm sick and tired of seeing these fake or these numbers that we don't know. So, Twitter poll, I can't doctor it. If I tell you there has been it's still going, but there has been at current time 1,645 votes, Amir. What percentage do you reckon is saying yes?
I'm just going to throw you out a number. I'm going to go with like 55 or something like that.
95%.
Wow.
90. Let's see if people can see it without, because the phone played up. But 95%. So these numbers are pretty much, and like I said, that's out of 1,645 votes. The vote's still got another day to go, or it's got another 1 day, 3 hours. And I keep tweeting occasionally going, oh, I thought we were in the minority. Supporters trust. It is so overwhelming right now. Obviously, I don't, and I've got to get this. For people that watch this, and people have tried to come at me with this, going, he'll never resign. I don't care. What I want to see is like when the trust have done something, and it makes Sky Sports News, and it makes TalkSport, and it makes everything. People keep thinking that we just want Daniel Levy to go, hey, I quit, I tap out. As much as we would love that to happen, we know it ain't going to happen like that. But the only way we can make sure that this is still spoken about is by pumping all we got into this and making it a talking point no matter where it goes. Making sure the written media, the television media, the written media, the social media is just pumping. Ollie Holt came out, did an incredible article for the Daily Mail saying our days as a big club are numbered because of Levy. I mean, 95% out of 1,040. I mean, what a swing that has been compared to other votes, eh?
There you go. It just shows you where the fan base are at, and it shows you where this club is at. And I just think that everyone at the moment has got to do their bit to try and put as much pressure on Mr. Levy as possible, because his shenanigans can't continue. The club will just go down and down and down and down and down to the point where we're not even recognizable from what we were. So something needs to be done, and pressure needs to be applied.
You're right. And you know what, Amir? We're going to come to the final thing, and it's going to be the final thing I talk about all week in these specials that I will be doing every single day. And you know it. It's protest, protest, protest. What I will say with this, I'll let you go, because I want you to speak a lot about what you do and what other people can do and do from the international side, because obviously you, again, being international, you and the support you give and do is incredible. I'm getting loads of people messaging me, even on our video that we put out today, Amir, saying, "See you there. I'm coming. I'm leaving at 6." I've got Brian Maguire who's coming down from Glasgow. He's
Wow.
coming down from Glasgow.
Big
I
up, man.
people
That's
saying I'm getting
incredible.
up at 6 a.m. to get there.
Incredible.
And these are
Incredible.
people. These are people that I speak to regularly. I've never met, but speak to regularly. So I know when they say they're coming, they're coming. This isn't, "Oh, I'll be there," just responding to a tweet. But Saturday is getting so much publicity again, and I'm going to keep ramping it up. And so are all my other people that I protest with, the Levy Outers, proudly. We're doing a lot of work this week, getting about on Twitter Spaces, YouTube, you name it. We're doing it because this is big. It's the final chance. I mean, explain to me what you think or just say to the international fan base that will be watching this how you can help, what you can do, and any ideas you can think of to help.
Yeah, definitely. So that I honestly, I think there's a lot that people can do. There's two different, sides of it. There's one with the people that can actually get to the protests and being there and giving as much support and all the songs and getting the banners out. That's one side of things. That's for people that are there in London and can get to Tottenham and do that. That's huge. Another thing is the hundreds of thousands of Spurs fans that are scattered all over the planet. If you can then get behind, if you're for Levy out, ENIC out, and you want change at the club and you want to see a different Tottenham Hotspur and you want to see us, striving for silverware again and getting back to the glory days, then you can do your utmost to share the content around, share the Tottenham Levy out, ENIC out channels, get onto, WhatsApp, Twitter, all the kind of social media that you can, pump it out, share it out to your other Spurs friends, share it out to your dad, your cousin, your mum, your dad, everyone that you know. Try and pump it as much as possible. Get behind the purple and gold till Tottenham is sold movement, and just try and support it as much as you can. And if there are other channels out there that are listening as well, if you can get down there to the protests as well, and people can live stream, do interviews with people down there at the protests, just try and get as much content and as much awareness to what is actually going on at the club. And eventually, like you said, your Talk Sports, your Sky Sports, these guys are going to get ear of the movement, and I'm sure things will only get ramped up from now. So if you are an international fan, there's plenty that you can be doing and supporting the movement from afar. And yeah, I'm just calling on Spurs fans to literally, and if you're not Levy out and you're on the fence or you're even Levy in, I'd like you to reconsider your position and look at where we're at and just look at the facts. I'm not going to go through everything right now, but just look at the facts of the last ownership, where we are. Disregarding the business side, because I'm not even talking about the business side. I'm talking purely about the footballing side of things. Have a look at where we're at and reconsider your position, and then maybe we'll be seeing you down at the protests as well eventually. Another thing for international fans that if you can make that trip, once or twice a year to get to London, to get there for one of the protests, that also is huge. I'll be coming back for Christmas. I know it's a way away now, but I've got a busy summer ahead and whatnot. So, I can only get back for around Christmas time. But while I'm there, I'll be doing my bit. So yeah, I think those are the things that you can be doing as an international.
Exactly. And I mean, I know for a fact that I've got people in North America ready to do certain things or prepared to do certain things. I'm not going to start talking about what they can do or what they are, because I need to get things in motion before we start talking about it. But for instance, you don't understand how powerful a retweet is. You don't even need to quote retweet. You just need to push that retweet button. It sends it to all your followers. Instagram, like Amir said, all the social media there is. Sharing this video. Sharing this video.
Just sharing it out.
All your YouTube, to all your WhatsApp friends.
Yep.
And getting out there saying, guys, check this out. Spreads it. But also, I'll give you a prime example, and this goes out, and I'm going to reach out to Eugene from Spurs Waging TV. All people that are watching this in the Far East, that pre-season tour when they're coming out, you have the chance to really give them what for, especially with membership fees going up. AIA, the club's official sponsor, their headquarters are there. You may not be able to make it to Tottenham Hotspur HQ as in the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or White Hart Lane as I will forever call it, as will many others, but you can get there. There are ways to do this. There are ways to get to the sponsors. There are ways. Even we have so many sponsors, whether it be Coca-Cola, whether it be Heineken, whether it be Dulux Paint, whether it be whatever it is. Find those headquarters or find those businesses. Make sure that they're aware, because trust me, if the sponsors start getting pissed off, Levy, it'll get even more wound up. There is so much to do, but like I keep saying, to the 62,000 people that will be there on Saturday, technically, if it's a full house, if people are boycotting, fair play to you. But I'm going to take 10,000 away like I do every single time when I say this. So we're taking away for Brentford and the corporate and whatever, that's 52,500. I know the people that I proudly stand with, we're not just the only ones singing Levy out in that stadium. Come and stand with us. You don't have to stand for 3-4 hours like we do. 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes, as long as you can. Get your voices heard. Voice your anger. Show your concern. Because the longer this continues, the worse it's going to get. And people are saying they can't wait for this season to be over. I'm telling you now, this summer is going to be the worst summer you've experienced as a Spurs fan. With the rumours of Longley signing up. Now, Standard Sport have broken that Eric Dyer is now in deep discussions with a 3-year contract extension. But like I said, we're not getting into Longley could be, Lloris is off, Kulu could be off. God knows if this could be Kane's last game in White Hart Lane as a Spurs player. Who knows?
Oh, let's not even go down that road, Dave.
This is what I'm saying, though, Amir. This could be this Saturday is your last chance for a home game to voice your concerns and make him aware, and the media are aware, and the Levy doubters, and the Levy and the people that come and troll us, and the people that want to take the mickey out of us. Let's show them that we are not the minority anymore, and we don't stand for this. Amir, you have anything in closing, brother?
Yeah, just please, if you are going to that game, the Brentford match, just make yourselves known, you know, that the noise, I'm sure it will be there, the Levy out chants, just really give it your all, because I want Levy to be aware going into this summer that he has thousands of people on his back ready to jump, because you know, it can't continue the way it's been going, and someone needs to be held accountable for the mistakes and the incompetence that has plagued Spurs for over a decade now. So yeah, just make yourselves heard, and honestly, thank you guys for being there and doing that. And you know, I wish, as an international fan, and I'm sure many others out there would love to be there as well. But like I said, you know, just sharing things out, getting the Levy out content, doing interviews, talking about it as much as possible. That's gonna also help apply pressure. So
exactly,
you know,
exactly. Well, Amir, brother, it's always a pleasure, and well done for the incredible job you're doing on the community page. It's absolutely phenomenal. So well played, guys. That wraps up day 2 of this special Cockerel Doodle Levy out special week, building up to the last game of the season protest. We would love to see your comments and respond to them. Get those likes up, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel, because we want to pump this out as much as we can and get it as wide as we can. Your subscriptions mean the world to us. So like we said, like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out.
Get him out. Nice.